Hey, I'm Rick Watson, and this is Humaning, a podcast where I chat to everyday humans about life. Not just the highlight reels, but the doubts, the fears, and the repeating patterns that influence us all. Humaning for me is about being able to sit in the thick of it with a little bit of presence and a little bit of curiosity, but still have a willingness to be shaped by what we learn along the way. Kellie Glab, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Thanks for driving down from Brisbane.
Oh, you're so welcome. Always love a drive in my car.
You do, don't you?
I really fucking do.
Yeah, you're one of the lovers of a road trip.
Every and any time I can do it, I do it.
Cool. We had one on the weekend that kind of lit the flame again of like, oh, this is good.
I'm so excited when people talk to me about their road trips. I just want to ask so many questions. Like, where did you go? How far did you go? Like, what did you do? This, and this. Yeah.
I will share, probably in my check-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I do like doing a check-in.
Yeah.
A, for us, but B, for if someone's listening, they can be like, oh, how am I feeling right now?
Yeah.
So if you're listening, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah. How are you feeling?
So what's it like to be you right now? Physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things as you sit here on a Monday morning?
Physically, my body's feeling really stiff actually because I'm aware of the laziness that I have and the lack of movement that I do in stretching and keeping my body limber and everything, and then sitting in a car for 2 hours. So that's there, and I can feel the pounding of my heart in my chest as well. So there's that inner physical stuff going on as well. Yeah.
Cool. What about mentally? What are stories, thoughts, assumptions, fears? What's rolling on in there?
Where do I start? Your dog just took a really deep exhale for me. I appreciate that.
He's feeling it. He'll be snoring in about 10 seconds.
Oh, nice. I guess I'm feeling, obviously like the kind of the excitement, because I've never done this before, the excitement, nerviness, but also, this rawness of some feelings that I've kind of been sitting with over the last couple of days, that I'm very aware is there, kind of hanging around the top of my chest.
Yep.
And I'm sure will come out.
Well, this is the podcast where you can avoid all your feelings, and we'll never speak about them.
Awesome.
If you were to put a label on what some of those emotions are, what would they be? What's buzzing around in there?
Yeah, cool. I think there's some. When I say grief and loss, I'll expand on that, because I think there's some sadness, some relief in there, some disappointment. And
Cool.
and I hold that with fragility, like that's, yeah.
Yep. Thanks for sharing.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling impacted by you being so honest. I'm a little bit up and about today, to be honest. This week is the back to school week.
Yeah.
So that means that men's circle starts again, and a few other things work-wise are just back in action after I try and take as much of a break on school holidays so I can go and do things with the boy and do road trips.
Yeah, I'm keen to know where you went.
Yeah. So physically I'm feeling good because it's been part of the holiday has been let's look after myself. let's move and let's eat well. And there has been a little bit of drinking and a little bit of other things that have been enjoyable, but mostly just looking after myself.
Is that a
physically.
part of you looking after yourself though? Like
Yeah,
drinking
fully.
and
It's permission to
yeah.
relax in the holiday break. So I think the tricky thing with that, so how I feel in my body, I feel pretty healthy. I feel light. There's a little bit of something there around this podcast and wanting to do a good job, but it's not major. But there's also, like, if I swing over to emotion, there's always a little bit of guilt of not working hard. Like, that's an old story.
Yeah.
So I have to, like, ride shotgun with that and just know that it's there when I slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
So
befriend it.
Yeah. So I'm getting a little bit better with that, and it's still present. So it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, mentally feeling really good. I'm super excited to do this today and to have men's circle starting tonight. And yeah, so I feel activated. Yeah.
Yeah. Good choice of words. Yeah. Activated. Yeah. In a good way.
Yeah. Yeah. And often for me, the activation can be fear-based, but it doesn't feel fear-based. So that the activation of, like, I've got to do stuff so things don't happen or things do happen.
Yep.
And a lot of it's around financial stuff. And so it's not a lot of fear-based, activation. But this is more like excitement of what's happening this week, activation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good for you.
Thanks. So that's our check-in.
Yeah.
What do you want to do now?
Well, I guess we should start by, I don't know, figuring out how we know each other. Why am I sitting on this couch in the first place?
Yeah, it's a really good question.
Yeah.
How do we know each other?
Well, you walked into my life 18 months ago. And I'm talking about our starting of study at Gestalt, GTB. And it's funny because I've done lots of, I've done courses and lots of trainings over my years of working in the counselling field. And you never get any men. Well, there's always limited men that come into these sorts of spaces.
Yep.
I've been aware of. And I was really surprised at the kind of amount of men that came in that was sitting in the group at Gestalt.
Yeah, we had a few, didn't we?
There was like, I reckon there must have been like, yeah, maybe not quite as much, but yeah. And so as they were walking in, I was like, I was kind of getting excited, like, ooh, this is cool. Men of all different ages and backgrounds and stuff. And I'm like, this is going to be different. This is going to be great. Yeah. And I'm always interested to know a man's journey as to why he might be sitting in that space.
Yeah.
So always intriguing for me. As a counsellor, I guess I can't help but I sort of can't turn that part of me off.
The curious part?
Yeah, of just wanting to know background stories and the whys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I guess as we've continued on, I think we connected at residential last year.
Yep.
Specifically, when, like, at the music for the graduation of the year fours. And I said, I'm going to start a playlist of songs that I want, and often I connect with people over music.
Yep.
It's my kind of getting in their point, And I think from there and then being in the same class this year and same group, we've kind of just, spoken a lot more and shared a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's my understanding of how we met.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because it's actually this year's been, I feel like we've met each other properly this year.
Yeah.
Last year we were in separate groups, so we didn't really spend much
There
time
was a
together.
divide,
Yeah.
wasn't there?
Yeah. Yeah. Why did you decide to study Gestalt? Because you have a counselling background?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I just wanted to enhance my kind of professional practice, and I'd wanted to do some postgrad studies for a really long time. And I had finished my undergrad in counselling, I want to say like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've been in the field that long. Shit. And I was sort of looking into, doing psychotherapy or some other kind of study, but nothing really stuck.
Yeah.
And the kinds of, like, the way of learning just wasn't, melding for me. And I was just, this doesn't kind of feel right. And I just kept applying and then deferring and then just, cancelling that out.
Yep.
And I have a cousin in Melbourne who did the Gestalt course down there and spoke really highly of it. And then I was at this training or this conference a couple of years ago, and this lady who I met, she was telling me that she just finished the Masters of Gestalt. I said, I'm just really, like, wanting to know more about that, and I want to, learn how to do Gestalt. And she said, you don't learn how to become Gestalt. You just become it. And I was so fucking curious.
That's some Yoda shit, isn't it?
Isn't it, right? And it was the way she said it so calmly. And now I understand how that all, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You just become it. I was like, oh, fuck. And so, I looked it up and went to the info night. I was living in northern New South Wales at the time and drove up for it. And there were so many people in the room.
Yeah.
So instantly my anxiety levels just went whoosh, straight up. And I continued and I enrolled and I went for the first weekend, and I've been every single weekend, even last year when I had my birthday. Yes. And, had the big 4-0 at Gestalt, which was fucking annoying. I was so resentful, but went anyway and learnt a whole lot from that time. And I've just, I've sort of just found something that fits really well with me and who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've met so many new amazing people in my world who have become more than just Gestalt buddies, students and stuff. Like, they've become friends.
Yeah.
And I guess that sense of feeling that community, belonging, which is something I haven't felt much or at all in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get that, it's like, of course, I just want to stay in there forever, and I want to have Gestalt every weekend, because I'm really seen, I'm really heard. And
that connection piece is strong.
It's so strong. It's so strong, especially if you've not experienced that in your life.
Yep.
Which I haven't. So that was, so I look forward to the weekends. I look forward to study groups, any kind of hangouts or anything like that where I can just, because as well, with people there and the people that I've met, we just go straight into depth.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate superficial shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to know
with
about
your people.
Yeah. And there's just that instant level of understanding. Instantly. So that's kind of how I came about it, and I love it. And I'm learning so much. So last year for me, I went in with the expectation of, like, this is going to be sort of, learning about myself and sort of the self-help kind of year. And it fucking was. Like,
that was going to be my question.
It really fucking was. And, like, my therapist at the end of last year said to me, she's like, she's really sort of grounded and and really like rooted in her, ways of practicing. And she's like, fuck, Kelly, like this has been so fucking transformative. I've just really enjoyed being on this journey with you. And I was, like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because, and for people who were kind of in my group, I guess, and seeing me transform every week, from this sort of shy, anxious person to someone who then would talk in group and choose whether I could talk or not. Like, and I think, this week of storytelling, that was a really big week for me, for myself, and to share that with others. And then this year I've gone into it more with an expectation or a goal's a bit, I hate the word goal, but it's like, desire, intention, to kind of want to go deeper into the professional side of it. And how can I do what I'm currently doing with clients but have more of a Gestalt lens when I'm with them? So it's the art of kind of practicing now what I'm learning.
And do you find that has sort of spread into your practice already?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's funny because I've got some like clients that are pre-Gestalt.
Yep.
So I think I find difficulty with them the most because
agreed.
Starting, going in with like a check-in or like talking about, so where are you feeling that right now? They're just thinking what the fuck? Why are you fucking saying that to me? But with new clients I have, it's the done deal. Like that's just what's happening. Yeah.
And what do you notice with the way it is, the new way? Like what's difference in that with your practice?
It's slowed down a lot. It's sort of giving me space to not be so and not that I really ever was like problem solving, because I've always been more like very person centered, sitting with the person as they are kind of right now.
Yeah.
But even more so, and I guess, looking at the phenomenology aspects of what a client is sitting with.
And what's phenomenology for those who don't know big words?
I'm so shit at explaining it. It's the phenomena.
Yeah, the study of the phenomena. What's
right?
happening right now? It's our check-in.
Yeah, it's like I can do it, but how do I explain it? I don't know. And it's when I come back and go, the theory side of things just lapses in me.
Yeah, but I think the thing with this is like they like to do big words for everything, and it's like, how do I translate that so it's practical?
Oh my God, like my mind just doesn't. I'm putting my hands over my face right now because I'm just like, oh my God, I don't operate that way. And like I'll sit on the weekends and just get completely lost in a group conversation when theories are being thrown around and big words. And it might be something that I'm thinking about, but I just can't fucking articulate. And it's not going to come out the way that it does for others.
All I think about in that stuff, because I'm similar, I'm like, oh, here we go again. The over-intellectualizers are over-intellectualizing.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're listening. I think about how can I apply this in my men's circle? How can I apply this in my coaching? Like, what does it actually look like?
Yeah.
And often that's like at least a starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like what you said about slowing down. Because even like there's a lot of people that listen to this that are not training to be psychotherapists. But all of us hold space for people in some capacity in a listening context. So it's really interesting how Gestalt's very much moving away from the outcomey, solution-y, fixy type stuff and sitting with like what's actually happening right now.
Yeah.
And slowing down is it's a wild tool for that to happen.
Yeah. And it's I'm doing that in my practice, but I'm also doing that in my personal life as well. You know, really taking, like, I've got the awareness to just stop and practice patience and, you know, just having things just come when they're meant to come and
Building that uncertainty muscle.
Yeah. And that's very new for me
Hell
because
yes.
I've lived a life of planning, organizing, moving, quickly, changing this, da, 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 and, you know, having these high expectations and then always them never being met.
So is part of that the planning, the moving towards the next thing, is that a pattern to not be in the uncomfortable uncertainty of?
Oh, you're asking big questions here, eh?
Not really.
I think,
You know yourself better than anyone else.
yeah, I think it's definitely been some childhood patterning. I think it's been a coping and survival strategy
Yep.
as well for me to just keep going and not sit with my stuff.
Yeah.
Because,
I don't think you're alone.
oh yeah, you know, because what, like sitting with our stuff is shit, right?
Yeah.
But probably not, not even, maybe before I started at Gestalt, it was very known to me about, you know, sitting with and, you know, being with and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But this has really intensified that learning for me. And I feel myself saying it to myself and then saying it outwardly to clients or, you know, people around me, just, you know, what is it like to just sit with that? So that's been
So let me ask you,
yeah.
what's it like to sit with that? For you, what's it been like for you to sit with that?
Um, it's been different.
What is different mean?
And yeah. It's been, I guess there's times when it's been challenging. And I've noticed when I've when I've wanted to kind of push through and just get on with things, you know, to get myself out of this uncomfortableness of feeling, because if I feel, then I have to unsuppress things that might be there and put more time into thinking about something when
Unsuppressed. That's an interesting word.
yeah.
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 Yeah. Like open the lid of the thing that you've suppressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
sometimes I don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
I have suppressed it.
Yep.
And then, you know, when obviously what we know is like when we suppress things over and over and over again, especially in a whole lifetime of say 40 years. I mean, well, really, was I suppressing stuff when I was like from 0 to 5? I don't know. Probably not. So whatever. But then when you start unpacking that, that's when like the trends and patterns come out. And you go, fuck, like, why am I doing this? Like, why is this making me feel like what? And yeah, trying to make sense of stuff.
And this is the part that just like my little brain loves this shit.
Yeah.
Loves it, like really loves it, trying to work out, like joining the dots with other people.
Yeah.
Likes to think he loves it for himself, but it's just not very good at doing it for myself, you know?
Yeah.
But it is those things. And I think what I've learned, especially with Gestalt, is around like how fucking clever our system is in looking after us.
Yeah.
You know, and that we often beat up on it.
Yeah.
But it's fucking elite at having our back.
Yeah.
And it's just that how it has our back can be in some relatively shitty ways.
Yeah.
And I think what I've learned this last 18 months is just like not directly but indirectly, like the reverence for the amazingness that these patterns provide us.
Yeah.
And the ability to choose that we don't want to keep, you know, doing it over and over again.
And something that just came to me when you were speaking about that is like one of the biggest things that I do now is I really like that I didn't do before, I think 18 months ago, was I'm really in tune with my body.
Mm.
And so someone who's experienced and lived with anxiety for 20 years, would feel these sorts of things happening in their body, but again, suppress it, take a pill, drink, run,
Yep.
do everything other than just really sit with that feeling of whatever it was. Whereas now when that comes up, and I'm feeling it now because, we're talking about it and it's very alive. So I'm feeling the fleeting in my stomach and chest. And I acknowledge that it's there. And I'm, when we're sitting in group at uni and that's there and my face might feel really hot and in the past I might have fleed, because that's my response of just sort of freezing and running.
Let's get out of here.
Instead now I will just sit with that and just go, this is okay. Like, and I really tune into like my nervous system's needing this, or, I'm needing to kind of stand up, or I'm needing to just clench my fists or whatever it might be. But that wasn't something that I practiced or was even aware of pre-Gestalt.
So do I hear in this that you're supporting yourself in a different way now?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that I would have to say that this is going to sound so fucked. Like, I can't believe this is going to come out of my mouth. And everyone that is listening that knows me is going to roll their eyes. I can feel it from here. Gestalt has really changed my life.
That wasn't so bad. I thought it was going to be way more naff than that.
It really has.
Yeah.
In so many ways. And it's, just gotten me to so I talk about the fact that, I'm so much more aware of what my nervous system's doing and my body's doing, but also what my mind is thinking and feeling.
Yep.
And sitting with different feelings that can be completely opposite, but have them both being there is completely fine and okay. And something that came out for me in great depth last year was this self-compassion.
Yeah.
Which, what is that? Which I've just never had for myself before. I've really, as people, I know it's very, very common for people to beat up on themselves,
fully.
Yeah, and so that was something that I really took away last year, and I've been really feeding myself this year.
So the compassionate side rather than the critical side.
Yeah. And just being more in tune with myself and my needs, and oh my God, putting myself first maybe?
Yeah, well, that's the bit that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to say, I'm learning to be more compassionate to myself as opposed to being critical. I think most people listening will have a version of that. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So what is that in the moment when you're allowing yourself to stop and slow down and feel? Like, what does it look like to be compassionate to yourself? Whether that's an internal conversation or whether it's an external action. Like, what does it look like?
Now I feel tears coming.
Cool.
Because this is, this is something for me that's very, oh, thanks. Tissues. Love it. You know me so well. I think it's sitting with my difference, and allowing that to be there.
Sitting with your difference.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is having compassion for myself for not maybe living a stereotypical female life.
Gotcha.
Not
following the path.
Not following the path, not following the, societal programming of, what we're programmed to kind of do as from the minute we're born.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, as a woman, to have kids, to give up a part of ourselves for, to be a mum and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And instead, I couldn't be further from that. and there's a part of me that, like, I have no regrets. I never wanted to have children. I love my life as it is. There's definitely like a loneliness to it,
yep.
which, I'll circle back to if you remind me. But yeah, sitting with that space of, I don't have to, follow those rules.
Mm.
And I've never been a rule follower anyway. Like, someone says do this and I do the complete fucking opposite.
Yeah.
Because that's just, I don't know, I just don't conform and never have. And whether that's something that was born with me, I don't know. But that sense of I need to have control over my own life.
Yep.
And yeah, so I think for a really long time, there was some guilt around maybe not conforming to being a mum and
fitting in, belonging,
and fitting in. Yeah. And I tried to, in so many, times in my life, to try and fit in with certain groups and people and family and friends. And I, I even had fucking dreadlocks for 10 years to try and fit into that kind of scene. But I've, and I guess, it kind of started from a feeling of not belonging in my family.
Yep.
And, if my family's listening, like, I love you all. But just that sense of, yeah, I felt like I was adopted, and I felt very misunderstood.
Yep.
Throughout my upbringing in my life. And then that carried on into, my relationship with my ex-husband. And, we went through this, we were fine. Like, we were just doing the double income, no kids kind of life. And I think it must have been around when I was like 29 or something like that. I think we decided to get married, and I think it was just before we got married, around, like, I had my sister falling pregnant, close friends pregnant, cousins, work colleagues.
Yep.
They were all in that kind of bracket of everyone's thinking about having kids or something like that. And I actually went through a really fucking hard time. Which I don't talk about that often. And because I didn't feel that need or that want or desire to be a mum.
Yep.
And I really wanted to have that feeling. And
it was like a difference you didn't want.
Yeah. Like I kind of, it just wasn't there. Like, people talk about that, I've just, that I've always wanted to be a mum, or that maternal instinct. I've just never had it, never felt it. I wouldn't know what it is even. And there was a part of me that just really wanted to experience that, like, and it was almost like there was something in my body and my mind that was just not allowing it to be there or something, know. And I went through a shit time because it just got me really down.
You beat yourself up about it?
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yep.
Like, I couldn't understand it. Like, I'm a female. I am meant and designed to have kids. be a mum, to raise children, to be a wife or whatever, you know.
Yep.
It's that fucking social programming that was imprinted in me from the youngest of ages. And so choosing was almost like I didn't have a choice, because the choice wasn't there to start with, because I just didn't feel like, it's really hard to explain. Like, and
That makes sense.
yeah,
Because it to me, it's like an alignment thing. It's like I'm not going to step into that if I don't actually feel it or want it,
yeah,
because of the expectations of everyone else.
yeah. And I would love to have more people, because I don't have a single female in my life, in family or friends, that doesn't have kids.
Well, you met one today.
Yeah, I did. We need to catch up more. And so it's a very lonely path. And I think, as much as I'll never understand what it feels like to be a mum.
Other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't sometimes, and I think this is what's happened to me, especially over this weekend, and it's kind of what's been alive for me, is that I don't have people, I don't think, in my orbit that understand what it feels like in my shoes.
Yep.
Because this wasn't, it's controversial, I guess, but I don't feel like I had a choice to not have kids. It just wasn't there for me.
Yep.
It wasn't like, oh, yeah, I feel like having kids, but I'm not going to.
Yep.
It was fucking not there.
Yep.
So it was like something had been sort of taken out of my heart, my mind, whatever. And so I feel really misunderstood.
Yep.
And I feel like I have a lot of people in my orbit that just think I live this
free will in life.
Yeah. You know, when they don't actually know that I struggle being, you know, the loneliness, you know, when people are all going on their family holidays and spending time with their kids at Christmas and birthday parties or school sports. It's like, I'll never know what that feels like. Just like they'll never know what it feels like to fuck off grid camp on their own, you know. And I honor that, and I completely understand that. I really, really do. And I think, what's come around for me lately is just, you know, being back around my beautiful, wonderful crew of friends who all have children.
Yep.
And sometimes I just feel like I just want them to be yes friends that will just be able to be spontaneous.
Say yes all the time.
Go, oh yeah, it's like Sunday afternoon. Yeah, let's go grab a drink, go for a walk, let's do this. Yep. But they can't.
Yep.
And I know that they can't. And I really, really get it. But there's grief there for me, because I'm like, I want that with that friend. But they can't do that.
Question. I'm feeling ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister's the same, Joe's the same. So there's some people in my life that I care about that are walking a similar path. How has your relationship to this part of you changed over time? And the part of you that is different? You know?
Well, I think in the early stages I suppressed it and distracted myself from it. So I would do whatever I could to not think about it.
Yep.
And just get on with life. And it wasn't there. I mean, like it was deep down, but it wasn't on the surface there. So I didn't notice it.
It was conveniently suppressed down into the sock.
100%. Yeah. And so what's come for me, you know, I think when my ex-husband and I, we split up, and, you know, starting this kind of alone sort of journey of life as a 35-year-old, that's when it started to come out a little bit more of like, fuck, I don't have kids to, you know, fall back on or meet people. You know, you meet people when you've got kids through stuff. Like, so, wow, I'm really doing this on my own. And that grew and grew. And I was traveling more, and I was being with myself alone more.
Yep.
So I couldn't hide it because it was actually happening.
Taking it for a test drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be in my car. I would be heading somewhere, away from people, of course. And it would just
away from people.
Yeah, we'll get to that. And yeah, and it just it just became really, and I think that's sort of when the self-compassion stuff sort of started to come up, like of just sitting with that, like this is my life, I'll never have children, and I still to this moment, like it's not in my life plan.
Yep.
And I have other ways of keeping myself supported, and I love the things that I do. But yeah, it's.
How do you feel about that part of you now? Because how we got onto this was like the question around how are you more compassionate compared to critical,
and that's what I'm sitting here thinking about is I think I allow myself to grieve.
Yep.
That now.
And is that little bit of what was there from yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even when I was driving down here today, I was sort of stewing over it, thinking about that and just going, and I had a beautiful catch up with another fellow Gestalty friend yesterday, Bronte.
Hey, Bronte.
Hey, Bronte. And he was saying, like, you can have both. You can be kind of a bit annoyed that you don't have your friends that will just, do this with you, and you can feel sad about it. And I was like, am I allowed to? Because I said, like, I can't be angry with them that they've got kids and they can't just drop things for me and this and that. He's like, why not? I'm like, and it just got me, like, it stopped me, and I'm like, oh yeah, well, maybe I can. I don't have to outwardly say anything to them, but it's well, I am now.
Don't
No,
have to send them letters.
But yeah, it was just allowing myself to kind of feel that compassion around, like, it's actually okay to just to grieve that loss of what you want.
Yeah. And it's okay to let that in.
Yeah.
That grief, the sadness.
Absolutely. And I work in a space in my life with disenfranchised grief. So much disenfranchised grief. And I'm like, this is not too dissimilar to that. Like, people might assume that because I don't have kids, I live this high and mighty life of freedom and spontaneity.
Yeah.
And that I shouldn't, and I chose this. So why should I be sad about it?
Yeah.
And it's my fault that I'm alone and blah, 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 right? And I can hear certain people in my world saying that and rolling their eyes at me. And it pisses me off because they don't get it. They don't know.
Yeah.
But I am allowed to grieve for that. But it is a societal kind of thing where, oh, well, you've chosen this path, this is what you have to deal with now. When actually I can fucking grieve if I want to,
Pause. I can grieve if I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this feeling is okay to have.
Yeah.
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 Because to me, this is like coming, like, if we just stalled it a little bit, it's like this is like coming back to, like, acceptance has so many layers.
Yeah.
Can I accept the reality of the situation of what's happened or what's happening? That's like the top layer. But then what's underneath that? Can I accept the way I feel about that? Can I accept my grief? Can I accept my sadness? And then what's underneath that? Like, this acceptance thing it's so multi-layered. And we start to accept one thing, like, because I hear in you today that you accept that this is your reality, but there's only a new part of you that's accepting that it's okay to grieve about it.
Yeah.
Does that sound?
Yeah.
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 Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess
Thanks,
that's
Bronte.
Yeah. Thanks, B. And I guess that's where the self-compassion stuff comes in. And I'm reminded about holding that myself in that space with self-compassion.
Yep.
And allowing that to be there and to sit with that patience of sitting in that grief around that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. And it comes back to that difference, doesn't it? It's like the relationship to our difference.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many triggers that are attached to our attachment to that.
Yeah.
Too many attached words. But do you know what I mean? Like often, even in GTB, my trigger will be about someone who's different, who's not had the same values as me or the same opinion. Like, because often we get triggered by our difference.
Yeah. And there's so much of my difference that I love. Like I fucking love the fact that I don't fit into a box. Like I've never been able to be boxed, you know, because I operate differently to others. I learn differently. I see things differently. I respond differently. And when I say, you know, to basically to the people in maybe in my world, in my orbit, right?
Yep.
And I love that about myself. So I love that part of my difference. But with that difference does come some loneliness.
Yep.
So it's holding both of those things. It's gratitude for being different.
Yep.
And also accepting and, you know, feeling the loneliness of that.
Yep.
Because you are maybe standing out there on your own with that difference.
It's maybe a little bit of a price of entry.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like if I'm going to have this difference, there's also going to come with a little bit of loneliness.
And knowing that, you know, there's an acceptance in that as well, like of being able to acknowledge that and accept that part of yourself.
Yeah. And the real, I don't know what the word is, but the juicy part for me is like when this is happening, like when you're accepting that duality and these parts of you and not hating on it and like what's the downstream knock-on effect in your life? You know, that can actually be a question. As opposed to the opposite, when you're beating yourself up because of your difference, you know, and then judging and comparing and all those things. What's the knock-on effect of that? And you don't even have to answer that if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But I just think it's one thing, and what I'm talking about is when we're doing work on ourselves, it's one thing to have a realization, and then it's like what actually happens because of that realization? What's downstream of that?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where the real impact evidence, you know, comes in and really lands for us.
Yeah.
So let's come back to the first one. Because you accept your difference more than you have in the past and you're more compassionate about it, either what do you notice or what do you guess you'll see more of moving forward?
More self-compassion.
Just some more layers, thanks.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, do you mean sort of like practically, like, or any?
What's the lived impact of being more compassionate to yourself?
A deepening of relationship with myself, I think. And I know that sounds really fucking bloody woo-woo, but but yeah, just this ability to be able to just be more me and not have to feel guilt or guilted into a certain way of being.
Yep.
And being able to have, like boundaries. Being able to, and I do have some, but they're pretty shit, I think, because I'm such a fucking people pleaser, which I know I'm very aware of, and it's something I'm trying to work on more. But I think the more that this stuff comes out, with this self-compassion, that will allow me to build more stronger boundaries. Therefore, I'll be more kind of robust in what hits me.
Yep.
And not take people's shit, and and stand up for myself, stand up for things that I believe in more, and therefore may deepen relationships that I have with other people, family, friends, work, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So I think,
because it's the authentic you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the real you.
Yeah.
I get to be more me, was your words.
Yeah. Because I think for so long I've always cared so much about what other people think.
Yep.
And I've played into that. And wanting to please, because God forbid someone not like me. Oh my God. Like,
Yep. If I'm so different, I got to make sure I fit in.
Yeah. Like, I'm so different, but I want to fit in.
It's hilarious, isn't it?
It is.
And it makes sense.
Yeah. And I've tried, because I have tried so hard for so long to fit in, because I haven't accepted the fact that I'm different.
There we go. Pause on that.
Yeah.
I've tried so hard to fit in because I haven't accepted that I'm different.
Yeah. Wow. I can feel that in my stomach, that almost like a drop, but a warmth of that really hit,
Yeah, I've got my version of that too.
Yeah?
Yeah, fully.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay.
Mic drop.
We're done. Therapy's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so from that, right? Then you can you can get an insight into how exhausting my life might have been for me in trying so hard to always fit in, belong, search for meaning, search for people. He gets it.
Yeah, fully.
And how, and
tiring it sounds.
Just like the thought of it, just always wanting to be on, or having to be on, and to be good, and to be there for people, and to, like, to be understood, and just to explain myself, and to be seen, and to all this stuff. It's just been like almost 35 years of sheer fucking exhaustion. And, and because I know I've never accepted myself.
Yep.
And that's what it just comes down to.
Yep.
And
I'm even just thinking about people listening, like in some capacity that we've all got parts that we don't accept, we don't even want to look at, let alone accept.
Yeah.
And we're like, what we're talking about is how seismic, how common, but then how seismic the simple but not easy process of self-acceptance.
Yeah. And I remember, like, and this is, I know that I've had this, harboring over me for my life. And my wonderful ex-husband, who's still a really good friend, and strong person in my life, he used to tell me, like, you just got to love yourself, Kel. He would say that.
Yeah.
And with really, like, loving sincerity and stuff. And all those books that say, love yourself before you can love others, rah, rah, rah. That fucking woo-woo shit. Which is so true though. It's so true. But and I hear that and I just always just felt that longing to accept and love myself.
Yep.
And it's taken me just, I want to say, 18 months ago maybe, but even probably less than that. So maybe a year, maybe 6 months ago, where I just, maybe even 3 months ago, where I got out of something that was not benefiting me.
Yep.
I speak about relationship wise. So I'm now just in a space where I'm putting myself first because I deserve better, because I accept that I deserve better, because like I'm worth it. Yeah.
Fucking oath.
And because I finally have come to a place where I do love myself and I care about the kind of life and person I want to have and be.
Mm.
And definitely would not be saying this 18 months ago or even a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love myself because I'm worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the funny thing is with the people pleaser is like most of our life is spent trying to prove that to others.
Mm.
And in doing that, we turn our back on ourselves.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, like we give ourselves away in order to make sure we're everything for everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I want the validation of I'm worth it.
Yeah. And I'm laughing because I did your quiz.
Oh yeah.
Everyone do that quiz. And I just was just like, I read it and I was like, I don't even need to do the quiz because I just know that I'm a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you got, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But so what brings me joy when I hear you speak is the I am worth it part around self rather than outsourcing that belief.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. And that is something that's so new for me, which accompanies that self-compassion.
Yeah.
Which, maybe in realizing my worth through my self-compassion, that's how it came to be. I don't know. And yeah, just really understanding that, and therefore then knowing what I need to do more of and what I want.
Yep.
And just really listening to that within myself and my body, and giving myself and feeding myself my own needs before I fucking go and feed others, which I have done for most of my life.
And is that where those boundaries come back in?
Yeah.
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 They've been really loose.
Yeah. Because that's the challenge now, isn't it? When we have this discovery and we have a little glimmer of what it feels like when we actually feel a different way, and it's like, all right, I've got to take this fucker for a run. I've got to take this out into the real world now.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, who do I start with?
Start with someone easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. It's like, how do I build this muscle? How do I continue to grow this part of me that I want to grow? Like, the real questions. Because normally when we're challenged and we're stressed and we fall back into the old pattern, the old pattern just supports us.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's like, how do I do things in advance proactively that's going to resource me differently?
Yeah.
That I get to make a different choice,
Yeah.
And that's the cool part about, continuing to do work on yourself, because you get to go out into the lab, which is life, and do some tests, some experiments in the
Yeah.
lab and come back and go, well, I've got some new data. That was fucked. I did that thing again. Or I was really good at that for an hour, and then after a second hour, I was a mess.
Yeah.
And I think in one of the supervision sessions, I think it was Esperanza, who I love. She was talking about there's no wrong; it's all just data. And I'm like, it's so true. It's like, because that's that thing about not beating ourselves up again. Because that's that old path of like, do the thing wrong, give myself a hard time for doing the thing wrong, and then I'm back to where I was. From her point of view, it's like, do the thing wrong, realize that it was, oh, cool, I did that thing. What am I going to do now? Rather than just beating yourself up. It's all data. I've used that a lot in my coaching in the last month or so. Of just, cool, we have some new data. Now we get to work out what we want to do with that.
And we can sit with that data again, and I'm going to use, like, say, self-compassion, because, that we can turn that data into pointy edge sticks where we just, kind of hit ourselves with or whatever.
Yeah.
Or we can or we can go, oh yeah, like, okay, so I did that. All right, well, next time, yeah, that was different. Next time I'm going to, try doing it this way.
Yeah.
And there's such a power in that, of not being so critical on yourself.
Yeah. And even just acknowledging the little bit of growth that's there.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where, at one point in your life, you might have just gone down that spiral of, oh, I'm shit. That's not, oh, that's because of this, that's, and so, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I say this every now and again on a podcast. It's like this is especially one that, like, I want to have you back in 6 months and be like, all right.
Where are you now?
But then it's like, then it becomes outcomey, It's like, actually, regardless of what happens, it's fine,
I could have regressed and gone backwards.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, who knows? But
I could be living off the land in 6 months and, phoning in, because that's what I see for myself at some point in
that's
the future. Fucking oath. Yeah. Getting away from humans, even though, like, I work with humans and I hang out with humans, and, for the most part, the people that in my orbit, they're all really great. But then there's a big percentage of people, I'm just like, I just need to get away.
Well, that was our road trip on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's just like, we just need some silence.
Yeah. I need to not be around fucked up humans. Like, I have this somewhat sort of disdain for a lot of them, because, okay, that's another podcast. That's another episode of the podcast, is, because I won't go too heavy into that. But it what
draws energy from you.
It is. It definitely does. And I need to, that's what takes me away and out, away from people, is that need to recharge. And when I'm out there in the middle of nowhere on my own, I remember, I come back to myself.
Yeah. The solar panels are getting full heat.
Yeah, exactly. And the fridge is fully charged, and there's cold ones in there. And I remember that, I'm in this world, and this is what I need to do in order to kind of survive in this world.
And it's really interesting, just the reality of that in our line of work.
Yeah.
That it's probably, we need to lean into that a little bit more than most other jobs.
Yeah.
Most other industries.
I do tend to laugh, and I do know other people in my field as well who feel the same. Probably they don't speak to it as much as I do, but we're in this helping profession, and yet it's like humans are fucked, you know? And yet I give and I listen and I give so much of my energy and I'm, you know, time and I'm genuine. I'm
Yeah.
genuinely caring and supportive for everyone in my orbit and the people that I work with. But I have to remember that I need to give that back to myself.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah. And yeah.
And not feel guilty about it.
And not feel guilty about it. And
Or just be okay with the guilt.
be okay with the guilt. But again, I say the word compassion again. Because that's what I need to do.
Mm.
You know?
I have a version of that in regards to both Joe and I work quite a bit with people, and often the weekend will come and we'll get invitations, whether it's family or friends, and we probably lean more to the no than the yes, and because we're the same, we need to recharge, and weekends are already pretty busy with stuff, but to add more stuff, like I had 3 things that I said yes to over the school holidays because I was just trying to emphasize. And it was uncomfortable to try and fit 3 social things in a day on a Saturday or something.
Oh, that's fucking huge. See,
Yeah. So I was just like,
I'm tired thinking about that for you.
So what feels normal and necessary for me and Joe is not for my family or my friends, or like my friends are pretty good, but family are just like, come to this. And we love them and we try and give as much time, but they don't understand that we get a lot of human contact in our week.
Yeah.
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 So we go hermit mode.
Yeah. and I'll often go hermit mode even just being at home.
Yep.
You know? No one binges a show like I do. That's one of my superpower skills, right? I will easily do an 8-hour binge sesh.
Oh yeah.
You know? And not look at my phone and just purposely just go, nah, shutting off.
Yep.
I'll do that, and I balance it out with maybe just doing one social thing. And, you know, I've got this new thing with a mate of mine. He and I will go for a hike. So it's a social catch up, but it's, you know, moving, being out in nature. Love it. And sometimes that's all I need for a weekend and I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Or I'll get in my car. She's always ready to go, Ravi.
Yep.
And off I go.
And this comes back to what we're talking about at the start of just like the acceptance of difference.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That it's okay for us to be different in this sense.
Yeah. And I know that there are so many people in my orbit that would love to do and be able to do what I do, in that sense of shutting themselves off, watching something, or taking off away somewhere. And but they can't because their kids have got activities on or parties and stuff. And for a lot of them, they like that.
Yeah. For
a lot of them, they're like, fucking hell, not another thing, you know? and that's where they're at in their kids' lives, you know? And I accept that, you know, about them. And I know that sometimes they go, I'd love to just have Kellie's life. Yeah.
Would you really?
Yeah. I don't know if people would want my life.
I think people want the romantic notion of it.
Yeah.
But they probably don't want the loneliness or the,
No.
you know. So.
And I certainly wouldn't want
and it doesn't matter.
their lives because if I wanted it, I'd have it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, would I? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So it's a supporting of difference. Again.
What excites you at the moment? As either right in this moment or looking forward? Like what's exciting?
What's exciting? Well, I've just moved back to Brizzy. So life at the moment is I'm still kind of settling into a new normal of life, and, you know, exploring my new neighborhood and stuff. And this is going to sound really nerdy of me, but I'm looking forward to our next Gestalt weekend.
Coming up soon.
Yep. It's my birthday in 2 weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. as well, because I'm balancing that, doing a few different things, a social thing, a nature thing, and then a self-care thing. Got a couple of festivals coming up that I haven't been to for a while, so that's really exciting. I've got a off-grid trip coming up that I'm looking forward to as well. Yeah. And work for me at the moment, I'm loving, because it's a new workspace.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've got a lot, really.
Yeah.
Actually, in my life that is exciting me.
Yeah.
And that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to ask that question because we don't put much emphasis on joy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. I think I always like to have something in my week coming up, knowing that I've got something in my week that I look forward to.
Yeah.
And it was something that my dad, he lives by as well, you know. They're big caravan people, you know, so they've always got a trip on the cards. And he always said, like, it's always nice to have something to look forward to keep you going, you know, through work and stuff. And I don't like having too many things and too far off in the distance. I keep it sort of simple around what's happening this week that I've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
You know? And it might be something really mundane to someone else.
Well, this is what I'm thinking for mine. Like I'm hearing you speak and I'm like, oh, I'm going to look really boring here. Because I'm just looking forward to doing the mundane things. So like, you know, movement, eating well, getting back into GTB and study and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't have any grand plans. Got Finn's birthday in a couple of weeks and a few little things that are on the horizon, but it's more of the same. And I think my excitement is approaching more of the same in a non-monotonous way, in like just finding joy in like doing this. And, you know, I'm going to pick up Finn in a minute and we're going to go do something, probably get some lunch somewhere, and then got men's circle tonight. And like, can I be excited about that? Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed, we also did a little 24-hour road trip on the weekend, and just that little change of environment and being on the road. And so that sort of, like I mentioned at the start, like flicked a little flame back on. So yeah, there's talk of, you know, some camping now the weather's starting to, getting at the back end of winter. And just some trips that nourish that part.
Oh, love it. I love it. Yeah. I think and keeping it small too. Like, why does it have to be these big things, you know, that these
grand gestures.
Yeah. Even just, you know, like looking forward to what I'm going to make for dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the drive home because I get to sit in my car and listen to playlists really loud and sing my lungs out, you know?
Nice.
Like things like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You
Can't
did
believe
it.
I can't believe it's over. Oh.
I haven't got my glasses on, so I've got no idea what the time is, but I've got a feeling that it's just over an hour.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for your honesty. And thanks for swearing. It's important.
Oh, no fucking worries. I will always get the last fucking swear word. No, but thanks for having me.
No,
Appreciate
my pleasure. Now, before you head off, if you're tired of falling into the same old traps, maybe take the repeated pattern quiz. You'll uncover the pattern that you lean on when things get a bit bumpy, and better yet, find some new ways to work with it. It's quick, surprisingly accurate, mildly confronting, and kind of fun. So just head over to rickwatson.com.au/quiz or click the link in the show notes.